as we end short on our lovely Akashic intelligence. And so, when a divine feminine and the 5D mystic plane has a relationship with Akash, we don't need to bow down to the sun or bow up or do any of what is for the spirituality soul age group. We have a direct communicative experience. And so our soulmates, as I was trying to get to, they bring us a surprise. Our twin flame or flames, they bring us capacity to keep doing what we're doing. And so you'll know that with twin flames, you're working your emotional, mental, and physical body. That's because you're embodying more of the Akashic intelligence that you are. Now, for any of you who are new, I support people to be their authentic self. Being yourself means you have your 0 1-year-old and you're a conscious lover. You're independent. You're an empowered woman. You're an empowered man. You're an empowered they. You're not a mule that if I walk, which we do, one-to-one mentorship, the master class, we do when I'm sharing with you how to be yourself, I try to get you to understand it's about you being you. And now I have attachment trauma information to accompany with that so that you can understand your body and your mind with your brain and your relationships and how the self of you works. And I didn't actually ask the question of what's myself because I use my human name. And then emotions and thoughts, it's automatic to aware person that they're not irrefutable facts, okay? So Akash and Akashic intelligence is amazing to tap into. And the more you expand your energy body, the more you are in a flow state. And that's selflessness, timelessness, effortlessness, and richness. Now, the people who are 4D collective, they don't move here because they are the same mules that get guided and they do not drink water. And I will be closing my eyes because I'm channeling. And that's why I use my audio versions for channeling because when you're in the moment, although if you'll take any of your attachment trauma information, you know that closing the eyes is when you are organizing yourself to feel through what's coming up and to connect. So you're actually, I think what they say, it's you're grabbing data, which as a channeler, obviously I'm doing. But I'm not trying to channel anything specific. I wanted to simply allow you to understand that the intelligence is one of love and life. And as a human translator, enlightenment, the human way, it's your restorative embodied self. It's you being aware. And then you can come again and do personal development, self-help to do more of it. Why do you need a guide? Because people don't know how to actually get out of their Cusco attitude. I find it hard to believe that my first 3 years of life mean anything. Sure. But you'll believe a person who talks to you about men fucking women, and a second later they feel contempt, disgust, and shame, and not realize the word shame means they don't get out of their trauma stuff. So their transgenerational and cultural trauma is being perpetuated through the very same stereotype, not to mention a man who has no reason to be called a man because you don't text back a person independently from your contempt, disgust, or shame. Also, we got coaches out there telling women how, yeah, you have to expect that a man will actually, if you have a rule where you won't fuck them until 3 months go by, once they fuck you, they've had you, they leave you. When I see coaches like that, I'm like, wow, another gender stereotype that wants to be perpetuated. So, you know, a person who's a man, woman, or they will not believe in generalizations or stereotypes, and they won't find appealing too much those who have, yes, an area and a level of expertise. You start sounding like a broken record at a certain point, and really what it is there's something to be said if you're a public figure who's not actually expanding consciousness. If you're a smart human being, you're going to notice that. If you're a person who's basically Pinocchio with a wooden body who thinks Stromboli is awesome, there's your low self-esteem people. Indirect communicators, passive aggressive, they don't know boundaries. They'll block you, unfriend you, they'll call you names, they'll talk behind your back. They don't know how to be grown-ups. See, grown-ups don't have chips on their shoulders. That, by the way, yeah, I'm using the word grown-up. Grown-up means that you're emotionally and mentally intelligent. I didn't realize that it would become this quality because, I mean, anyone not know how to express crying, anger? I got raised in a child-centric environment. It's not boring to have secure attachment. What's interesting is finding out that people are supposed to help people to get out of these things. They call it boring. versus the water that is not water. So lust, people with shame, people who are, let me pat you on the head, shall I? Or shall I put you on a pedestal? Which one do you need? Do you need me to keep you below me or above me? What do you need, baby? So it's not a baby, obviously, but it is a 0 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old who didn't get treated with healthy self worth parental figures, at least one. So shame is basically where you bow down or up to people versus know that there's nobody who you need to bow down or up to, nor feel this thing called shame, defectiveness, and that you can work with information to get out of it. And so know that you have an attachment system and a social system. You don't need to fear inadequacy. The minute it's been given to you, it's intelligence. You can create wisdom, and then you can say, I'm going to be aware when it comes up, because you will be aware. Like people who have disconnected from their emotional body, or people who have voids and emptiness, and then they go fill it with maladaptive child behavior. Yes, meet Dr. Daniel Fox. He shares how all personality disorders can work on their core content, and he also talks about surface content. I learn about it in different ways from Dr. Daniel Siegel, where people can work with their shame and get out of it completely and move into integration of the brain and become your restorative embodiment self. You got one right here. So with inner growth, I like to work with people who want to be their self and who love humanity. And it's serious, not pretend, because there's a lot that like to pretend. I notice when people are pretending, and so I don't want to waste anybody's time or money for that matter. And I like to be a straight shooter. I don't do filtering. In fact, I don't filter my mouth. The fact that people want us to filter our mouths, I'm just so surprised that we've reached this point. I'm in favor of making sure that we can keep freedom of chit-chatting like actual emotional mental grown-ups versus what seems to be censorship all over the place, like everywhere, because everyone cannot handle at this point talking. Like this has become an issue. It was already an issue when I was a teen, but I didn't think it would become on social media. So, Akash, it is a beautiful experience to tap into it and to be a 5D mystic. So, soulmates are awesome. So are twin flames. Emotions are awesome. So are the ones that are really big. The ones who are 5D mystics will know that they get to master their mental and emotional plane. This will be intuitive. You will not have a question of what's taking place if you're an actual divine feminine. The guide, though, can support you if you are a person who needs to take ownership of emotions with a Jacob, because you don't know how to be the observer that is objective when you are addressing your thoughts and your emotions as uncertainty, unwanted, and unexpected comes in. So dealing with those is the main module of the inner growth mindset. And then the second is going within. So in covering all of you, there's sub-modules, but the course material, there's the beginners on Udemy, the in-depth. For now, you can get a taste of the way that I teach with those courses on the website. And then our last module, the third one, is going with the flow. I decided to make the first 3 free so people could not only see the teaching style, but also have the most important pieces of information that could let you just go and run with it. And that's because it was based on the first couple years of blogging and the podcast episodes, besides the research for the Inner Growth Mindset book. Long story short, though, back to Akash and mysticism, this came into the mix, and I knew I would be bringing it into the picture. And so I'm obviously going to be somebody who supports the spirituality awakening guidance journey. And you're already woke, but basically a person who is a mystic with clairs, who would like to walk a path of humanity. Okay, not storytelling. So I don't use the in-depth ancient textbooks. It is great that we have that information because it does give answers to aspects. But as a person who has gone through 3 to 4 light bodies, the rainbow body, then another 2 bodies, I can tell you that you don't need stories. In fact, actually, there's one course that I want to finish. Well, I want to finish a bunch of them, but one of them on the energy body. She's a therapist and somebody who's also within this sphere of, I believe, holistic, but I don't remember her titles. So yeah, soulmates, they surprise us because they remind us, divine feminine gets reminded by her divine masculines of what she is not aware of. Because a divine feminine will know that she can only see the inner child, and so the divine masculines and their potential. Difference is we're not going to be in a pain if they want to go seminate and do their donkey that doesn't drink the water, but they think they're drinking water. So shame cycle, shame, blame, fault, revenge. Yes, inner critic, outer critic, fucking, drugging, drinking, and whatever Pinocchio thinks he's doing with Stromboli. And that's why also journey people, they're all masculines. Doesn't matter if they have clairs. Sure, they can tap into Akash. It's distorted, that's for sure, but it's distorted in a plane of 4D. I learned all about it. And then I can also talk about it with the religious self of Dr. I think, I don't even know, but it doesn't even matter. Patrick McNamara, neuroscientist. And that's why I noticed when people are flipping, flopping, one, there's ascension energies that come about. Two, they don't own their brain. They don't even own their body. They don't own their inner child. In fact, their inner child doesn't come out to play. But if I ever meet any of them, I will meet their inner child. Even if it's armored in, I'm a piece of consciousness. I know they're a piece of consciousness too. And so Akash, and that's pure consciousness, also unconditional love, pure energy. That's your 3-year-old wholeness. It's your humanity. I learned from Jesus how to be unconditionally loving. So I'm going to, like Pacha tells Cusco, know that everyone I look at, I got eyes, you got eyes. The difference is I don't have trauma memory lingering in mine. I'm going to probably notice that you do, but I'm going to know how to self-regulate emotionally, mentally, physically, because I'm present. And I'm attuning to you because I'm an embodied brain like you are. The difference is you don't know who you are. I know who I am. I know my vibe, and I'm picking up on your vibe. So I'm attuning to you in presence. I will begin resonating. I will know how to differentiate. Daniel Siegel taught me how to do it even more. And then I will ask and I will talk. And if we are on the same page, then we'll keep on building trust. And that's expanding of consciousness. It doesn't matter if you tell me the truth, meaning, let's say I'm just a joyride for you. You just wanted to have a good old time in the bedroom. Okay, I'm just saying, we'll use that because obviously as a woman, I have plenty of stories, and not because of plenty. I'm saying plenty of stories throughout my women friends, men friends, all the gender stereotypes. I'm solo poly, but I'm a grace. It means that I choose if I'm interested in maybe going down that path. Because yes, my body is sacred and it's a lot of things. It has nothing to do though with the judgment of others. And you know what a woman will know is that it doesn't matter what you speak from your mouth. People make up a bunch of bullshit behind your back, which is also why I don't mind being called a whore. As a solo polyamory person, I laugh at that because I'm like, this is a very creative way to not do anything different than our ancestors did, or also just to be an ignorant person. I mean, really? I still remember the man that made me feel like a dancing queen. And that's the part of where you can't make up the shit if you want. He was, I'm sure he still is, a stripper. So I am a person who gets very shy when I dance. This is a side note story. And I love dancing. I don't do drugs, never done drugs. Alcohol, drink a little bit, low tolerance. Smoking cigarettes, used to, now I smoke cigars. Okay, so I'm saying I'm not a person who's interested in drugs. I still get teased about it by grown human beings. It just makes me laugh because you're supposed to applaud health, not the opposite as you get older. I'm just saying. But let's leave that alone. Again, the mules who don't drink water, so you can only guide them there. Then they're going to get to do Pinocchio with the wooden body, and, it is what it is. So this, I went to college. I have a bachelor's and a master's. And in college, I got to take dance course. The first thing our teacher shares is, I don't care if you're feminist, and I was for a little time. But then I said, I'm a humanist, I'm not a feminist, and I find it disrespectful, the male gender stereotypes, but the men have told me that I need to shut up because I'm a woman and I don't know, and that they do want to spread their seed in anything that moves. So, I mean, I'm just going to say it, man. I don't believe it, but you know what? I'm going to leave it alone. I'm a woman. I'm happy, and I know that I will always be a woman. I know it because I love every single one of my lives, and that's because I do commit to you, to me, to love. So when you find out pure consciousness is unconditional love, and you have been it, that's why people say you're like a naive human being. Sure, I am. I'm all the stupidity in the world, but what I know is that I'm living alive and not a movie. And that's the difference of a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group. So I learned from my dance teacher that men are the ones who lead you, and that if they are good, they can have you fly. Fly me to the moon. And then I love Michael Bublé, Across the Star. That's one of my favorite songs of his. Also, I heard this fun one, Frank Sinatra singing Eminem's "Lose Yourself, Find Yourself," which was really odd. I didn't know what to say about it, but this guy's awesome. So that's kind of humor that I like. And he also did another song. So, anyways, back to stories. So I can let you go. I'm sure you're all like, I want to know, Maria. Now you want to know, don't you? You want to know. You want to kiss me. Does anybody know Sandra Bullock? There's another one. That's a cute movie. Miss Congeniality. I remember the name. I think this was in one of our channeled guidance. So, okay. So my teacher teaches us. I have a woman that's my partner. I love her. I can't find her. I wonder where she's at. She was pregnant while we were dance partners. But since I'm tiny, I think we did really good until about the end. Tango. Tango's amazing. Oh my gosh. So I learned that man will lead. And I'm like, I'm good with that because I get all embarrassed, don't know how to fucking dance. Anytime somebody tries, I consistently am so shy about it because I can't move. I also have scoliosis, which doesn't help my equilibrium. People think I make it up. I remember I went to Mexico. They're like, come on, Maria, move your hips. I'm like, no, you don't understand. One hip's out, the other's not, and I don't know how to move. Long story short, I'm in a disco. So I'm in disco. I've been going out with a group of people. Don't get me started on those stories. Now you've heard some of those. You'll hear more of those because it was hilarious to see roosters and hens. As I'm getting older, I'm like, why are these people acting like ignorant human beings? Because lust is ignorance in my book. Means that you don't know what love is. And I really just thought teenagers would grow up because, see, I'm growing up organically. My biochemistry is moving into maturity. My executive decision making functions. I'm a healthy self worth, empowered woman. I'm a secure attachment woman, okay? Remember, my teenage boyfriend, when he broke up with me a month later, I'm like, thank God she did me a favor. Thank you, and that wasn't because I didn't like any of our 4 years. No, because I met men who knew how to actually love better than he did. And that's because they knew how to treat a lady better than he did. And so we know how being treated means. It means you talk to my face and with respect, always, not just sometimes. And you don't hide your feelings, and you can't hide your feelings, FYI. So, long story short, yes, you can't. This is physical because your nervous system, you wear it on your face and your tone gives it away, and I will know that your heart's closed or open, and I will know how to regulate myself. Say, okay, you need to back off. Like to my big man, baby child friend, you saw the video, back off, back off. And when I'm off, I need him to back off even more. You will have heard that story as well. Okay, so long story short, this man, I usually don't let men approach me. There's a way that I would dance in an effort to be left alone. I don't like if a man comes up behind. I don't want anyone to come near me. I'm dancing. I'm having fun dancing. That means by myself, not with you all over me at all. In fact, I find it completely, for me, disgusting. That's the feeling when I see a certain type of. I'm like, what is that? That doesn't. What are you doing? Why are you half naked? I know that I get half naked too sometimes. Don't worry. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when I see people dancing and they're basically, you should be in a bedroom. And that is what to me is not appealing. I don't understand it. I'm not even fond of the movements. But again, I come from a different era. I'm 44. So I'm just like, maybe that I leave it alone because I'm not going to do what those other people do. Our generation, they've got, no, everybody has their generation. So leave it alone. All I know is I like to dance with my space. I can look like a buffoon. I don't care. Don't come up behind me. Don't come next to me. Leave me be. And I'm protective about my energy and my space. And I'm having a good time. Also that there are, I don't like to say it, but yes, men are annoying. They're annoying as fuck. That's it. There's no other way to put it, unfortunately. Women are annoying as fuck as well. I'm not going to say it and see things that actually, that's not okay either. None of it is. None of it is. Which is why I'm happy that there's good sex therapists and all of the attachment trauma therapists educating, and in school they will go. I feel bad for the ones who don't learn about sciences. Let's leave that one alone for now. So long story short, I'm at the disco. I'm having a good time. I have my thing. I trust my gut. My gut always tells me, and I trust Maria. anyone can speak to me. I don't give a shit what comes out of your mouth. I trust Maria, unless you're a trusted source. And here's where those trusted sources, they also know that because I am a person who will trust my trusted source, that they can manipulate if they choose to. A friend of mine and I had a nice little chit chat about that. And I know that about me because I'm not going to allow you in my friend circle, me, without giving you blind trust. Because otherwise, what are we doing? There's no way I'm going to have you be in my herd and say, I don't trust this. I'm going to give you 90%. No, I'm going to give you 200%. And then you're going to show me what you're made of. And that's exactly why it's something of, I'm not playing games if we want to be in a relationship. I'm not going to hide who I am from you. I'm going to tell all of what is this? Okay, so people who grew up, they got to do this shit of, I'm only going to keep, keep safe. What you're not trying at all. You're not trying romance at all. You're not doing anything. When you hide who you are, you're not doing anything. And I got women who have come to consult with me, and one of the stories is this. I told him, I said, look, I've been heartbroken before, so I'm going to give you 90% of my trust. And I'm like, why would you even bother telling somebody that? Of course he's going to be like, what the fuck? But anyways, let me put that aside and finish our story. There's also the sun's going down. So this person approaches me. My gut says it's cool, and we start dancing, and I'm dancing like a queen. And I am so having a good time because he makes me feel comfortable. I do not feel any yucky energy from him. He's not disgusting or slimy or wanting anything. I did make sure to say, I'm not going to kiss you. I'm not doing shit with you. Because that is the one thing that you keep on seeing when you go dancing is apparently people don't just dance together. Then they think they're going to go fuck in the bathroom. And I've had kids that are in their 30s show me things. I can't believe it. But I had to say to my friends, like, yep, that's what I did see. I can't believe I'm saying it as a woman. And he even caught me on screen. I'm like, please remember, I'm an online presence, even though, anybody can do anything with the online presence. So we are in that era. But anyways, I had a good time. And so we finished dancing, and I'm like, okay, I already told you. He's like, okay, but a kiss here? I was like, okay, because in Italy we say hello with kisses, so it's not a big deal. And then I say, hey, so I'm curious, what do you do for a living? You dance really great, and I complimented him, and lo and behold, he's like, I'm a stripper. I was like, now this makes sense. Because I've never been to a strip club, or did I? Nope. I think friends went. I'm not interested at all. Yes, because it's not something that's appealing. But when he told me what he did, I was like, okay, now I understand why you know how to have a woman move. You're a good stripper. Obviously, you're good at your job. And long story short, he's the man who has had me dance the best ever in my life. And it's because he knew exactly how to move me. And so here's where we'll end. Akashic Intelligence. It's amazing. Our oversoul is amazing. Twin flames, soulmates. There is a tango with those who are part of our lovely oversoul. And yes, there is a very special tango with the twin flame. I will not say no. I would be a liar, liar, pants on fire. But you're still choice points. So they can be the one for you as my voice goes up, but you will not be the one for them. And this is not a discard for a divine feminine. This is called a choice point that a divine feminine will automatically, it will be automatic for you to understand immediately. It's part of my expanding journey. So I will be dealing with what comes up and what comes sideways, and then I will be continuing my relationship. There's no saga, drama, stages, because we're talking about people. And that's why it's what is called is a recalibration of, okay, we are on different pages, and therefore we recalibrate to what page we will continue to walk together as two people and or more, again, that have shared past, shared present, and considered shared future in however ways the recalibration will have been decided. And so there's not, again, any of that which you hear from others, but that's from a divine feminine who's a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group. And I'm a functional adult. I have healthy self-worth. I'm a secure attachment human being who always has known I love Maria first. You don't treat me like a piece of shit. I'm not an object. No matter what you do, it will not be a reflection of you in the sense of I will point a finger. No, I will know if you're kind and compassionate, then you're an integrated brain who is like me. And if you're not and you're unkind, then you will want to take a look at that lovely childhood trauma and or personal development, because you have trauma charges and or other stuff lingering around. The reason for unkindness is not anything of pure evil. No, it is called a person who is in their safety behavior with trauma, trust breaks, and a lot more. It's not a belief, it's education. And I have a buttload of it. So until a person gets home to their 0 1 year old, I will not have met the authentic self of that person. And if I meet unkindness, I will have met the teenage version of that person, and I met plenty of them, which is why, not surprised, anyone who's unkind is unreliable. They will be using whatever they want, however they want. The thing is, when you are in oneness with Akash, you're not going to be blindsided. It's not a movie, my lovely viewers and listeners. It is a relationship, and it is not going to chip away at anybody's healthy self-worth. We don't try to keep a man or a woman or they. We will be like, okay, it was nice. We can chit-chat. We will clear, in fact, our energy sphere, because energy is all about love and emotions. So we'll know how to continue being authentic as they continue to be authentic. It doesn't matter if they're the authentic self. They could be the wool or the mule that is drinking from the water, or they can be a mule that's drinking from some other place, or they can be a mule that's not drinking at all. It's not going to be let me be your state of consciousness. It's their state of consciousness, not the other way around. They have their divine masculine, they have their divine feminine, they have their masculine, they have their feminine. They can do integration of the brain. It's not about regurgitation of material. It's intelligence. You want to tell me your intelligence, and you're going to be self-aware. You're going to be self-emotionally aware and regulating. And then you're going to know there's no story. There's no superhero. There's no supervillain. There's no super rescuing. Unless you're pseudo-alive. And that's where we're going to disengage, because I'm going to get on a repeat wheel. So being oneself, authentic self, the way we talk about it, is a restorative embodiment. It's your inner and outer well-being. It's integration of the brain. And Akash is part of this lovely sphere. It's the essence of love and life. You can learn it from sciences, spirituality. We bring human, spiritual, and spirituality together, and I support you to be you, one-to-one mentorship. You get to hear stories. Ask Maria and the masterclass when it's out. We do have on any of those audio podcast versions, Spotify, Amazon, and there's episodes that get shared there, at least one a week on Friday. The rest will be from YouTube. I'm populating for now. And then you can also know that we have WhatsApp channels. And as people will join, I will see if I have ideas for that. Otherwise, there's daily posts or weekly posts on what's being shared on YouTube, so you can keep track there. But in the future, there'll be other things that get added. Telegram and Instagram, obviously. TikTok, I don't know if I'll be able to use it when I am stateside at the time, at this moment. But, I do have TikTok as well. And Facebook, LinkedIn. You find me pretty much anywhere, my lovely viewers. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you do know somebody who is interested in this type of chit-chat and that they do want to do personal development and self-help, that would be nice for you to share that with them. If they unconsciously love being a human, one. If they know that we're all brothers and sisters too, and that Akash is an intelligence that is the essence of love and life, even though we can't always say Holy Spirit, it's what it is. Nobody owns Akash. No storyteller owns. It's us together. And I love that sciences and spirituality are together. So thank you again for stopping by. Have a great day.